Metro Detroit golfers, it's Tuesday, and we're here with the Tuesday tip of the week. I'm Chad.
And I'm Ben.
And we are lucky this week to have Kevin and Jeff from Tri-Covering Massage and Fitness here at GLA to help us understand what it takes, or some rules that you would need to do to maximize your stretching routine. What are some things, so every time when folks come through the door, they have rules or predetermined things. What are some ideas that you've heard with stretches or kind of some misinformation that you may know about?
Man, truth be told, I didn't even know there was a lot of rules about stretching, so I'm excited to learn from these guys today. But one of the things that I have learned through the years is when I'm not breathing and I'm trying to stretch, I know there's an issue there, and there's probably a reason I can't breathe. So I'm very excited for you two to shed some light on the 3 rules of stretching.
Excellent. So those are three big rules that we have for stretching. So what we're going to do is we're going to show all 3 rules while one of the most popular stretches known to man is the hamstring stretch, where everybody just kind of sits and they just hang and reach for the toes. So I'm going to have Kevin here demonstrate. So we're going to do kind of just a traditional hamstring stretch, what everybody kind of knows what they do here. Now, number 1 rule, you don't want to force anything, all right? Less is more. So let it relax, let it just hang, and let it just happen. What you don't want to do is force it. You don't want to have to grab anything and just force your forehead down to your shins. You don't want to bounce like what Kevin was just doing there. That's a big no-no.
Cut that out.
Right? No, that hurt. Yeah. So no bouncing, nothing ballistic. You want to just kind of breathe and let it happen. All right. Speaking of breathing, number 2 rule. Want to make sure we breathe through it. So you can kind of move that stretch. Go into an exhale and then kind of release that stretch, let go, and then exhale and do it again. You can almost do a series of 5 to 10 of these breaths. A lot of people are like, okay, go do 10. It's like, well, do 10 breaths. It's a great pace. 5 breaths. I'd rather see you do 3 breaths and take your time through it, then do 10 really quick and you're locking your breath the whole time. All right. The next one now is to play with the stretch. I always say try to get the stretch, keep the stretch, and move the stretch. All right. So see how Kevin is moving and he's going side to side. You can feel that move to the outside of the hamstring, inside of the hamstring. And even if he goes right down to the middle, and then start with your knees bent. Everybody likes to go straight knees and lock them out and reach down. So start with the knees bent, reach down a little bit lower, and then just slowly straighten your knees out. All right? So with this, you get the stretch more up in the hips. Because if you go straight and you come down here, everybody feels it right behind the knees. It's pretty intense. But if you go from this direction, it's nice to get that stretch up high in the hamstring where a lot of people come in with a lot of strains and pulls. So this can help a lot with playing with that.
So stretching just could help eliminate a lot of injury, it sounds like.
It can, if done properly.
Right.
Like stretching,
if done properly.
Stretching is, it's not just stretch, and that's it. It's like saying, oh, exercise is exercise. So it doesn't matter if I'm going to do a bunch of Olympic lifts or run 10 miles. It's the same thing. My body reacts totally differently to those 2 different types of exercises. Right. Just like your body's going to react differently to different types of stretches. And there's certain ones that are probably best for other ones, but these are 3 great rules that tie it all together to really make it successful.
So no forcing, no bouncing, and definitely use breathing.
Correct.
As a way to manage the
and
time.
Make sure you play with it.
And play with it.
Yep.
Got it.
Get the stretch and move the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of times when people are forcing a stretch, is that maybe one of the reasons why they can't breathe?
That's part of it, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you're going to push your muscle to elongate it, and it just wants to stay tight, because that muscle's going to win every single time. Because you can't force it. If you do force it, that's where a lot of injuries occur. So you've got to relax into it and let that muscle elongate. And that's where you're going to get it. It creates great body awareness, which is huge.
Yeah. Would you encourage folks around Metro Detroit to do this before they play?
Yeah.
When's the best time of day to stretch?
If you could do this regularly, regular meaning, let's say, 3 to 5 days a week. But before you play is a great time to do it. And then even after you play, and that's a great time to help increase that range of motion. Because everybody does this. You want progress. You want to be able to do more. If you're starting back at square one every time, kind of what's the point, right? So if you can be a little more consistent with it and get a lot more long-term effects and success from it, why wouldn't you? So I would recommend 3 to 5 days a week playing with these stretches, and then before you play is a great time to do, and then afterwards, just to get yourself, recovered a little bit quicker after playing a bunch of rounds. And that's why we're here, play a bunch of rounds.
That's right.
Feel better the next day.
Pretty much. All right. Well, you heard it here first, so we thank the gentleman from Tri-Covering for coming over to GLA to walk us through these rules for stretching. So put this into practice and play more golf. Thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.